Good afternoon, RGLtv. Really appreciate your patience for this afternoon. Got a little change in the schedule. Appreciate Kuma for stepping up with the Monster Party. I'm going to be slotting in here ahead of our Ghoul Scoot One Night Only tournament with Metamorphic Force, which is an arcade title released by Konami 30 years ago this year, I believe it was. Kind of fits the Halloween mood because it's on a storytelling wise, it's on a similar spectrum to Altered Beast, which I don't recall was in this year's event or not, but it has been in the past. You basically play as one of 4 characters that can change into a different animal to gain, like, you know, superpowers and enhance things how it be. The last time I played this game was at Retrothon back in April. That run was kind of a meme because I had been playing the game so much at that point that I wanted to see if I could 1cc it during a marathon with the worst character in the game, that being Bon, the guy you see there with the sleeveless top. Bon's not bad, but it was challenging at least. But today we're gonna be doing it with the best character. So I'm gonna pop my quarter in. Be playing as Max. Oh wait, hang on. Wrong ROM. Let me fix that. This game has essentially 3 different ROM sets. A Japanese version, different from European version, different from US version. I actually selected the European version, which is not as hard as US, but it still does have gauntlet health, and we don't want that. So we're gonna switch over to the Japanese version in this case, which is a lot more tolerable. So we start as Max. We just look like some dude. Nothing special. Run around punching enemies, jump kicks really good. Not really a whole lot to talk about with the human form because we're not going to be seeing too much of it. Actually, I probably should have waited on that. Haven't played this game in a bit. C. Down goes that. Yeah, for the first little bit, we're just going to be punching dudes. Till we get to the real beast of the run. Down, please. Oh, yeah, that's right, it's over here, isn't it? So once we get our statue, we get to do this. So technically, we're still punching dudes. We're just a lot better at it now. We can also collect statues while we're in Panther form to do this and clear the whole screen. Reminds me a lot of Nightcrawler from X-Men, which this game actually, I believe, was based on a similar hardware than from X-Men arcade. We also get a grab now, which is really good. Have it chuck that. Do that there. First stage is pretty short. Big thing we'll see in Max's arsenal is this little low drop kick he has. This move is amazing. It's really good at crowd control because it can hit multiple enemies at once. And even more importantly, it hits enemies on the ground. I'm actually going to wait for him to despawn. For this little helper guy, he's going to drop an item on his own eventually, but then I'm just going to tackle him and make more items spawn. Oh, to despawn them both. Cute. Fun, fun, fun. So under our first boss, we have this guy that won't let us in this area. But we don't care about him, so we're just going to drop kick him. And hit him over and over again. This is also OTGs. We learned that OTG is a pretty big part of the meta here. We can't do anything about that. It's invincible. And you got a blow quick there. Same there. Oof, lucky. This might finish him off. Yep, there we go. Couple missed times there. Big old screaming explosion. Hopefully we can refill everything. So at the end of a given stage, you're not guaranteed to refill all your health. You're hoping that the random item drops will be able to help us along. We got really lucky there with a bunch of healing. And we're back to full health. On to stage 2, where the game really begins. These hedgehog guys are someone I definitely want to keep in check. Remind me a lot of Sonic because 1, they're blue, at least in the fur. And 2, they can spinball. Do that. Really cool music in this game too. on me. I didn't even see him telegraphing that. You hit him off screen sometimes. Dropkick has a really big hitbox like that. Try to throw for crowd control. Unfortunate. Okay, that's just for score. So we're gonna ride away while this gradient stage is happening in the background. Let a bunch of enemies spawn. Take care of them this way. Really use some health, but if the opportunity doesn't arise, I'm just gonna do what I need to do. Lots of statues. Sometimes you get more statues than health, and that's not great. More Sonics. This one's supersonic for the color. I think we're gonna be arriving right here to a range of enemies. Take them all out. Should be health here in this top stone. Yeah, there we go. Dropkick this guy on his way out. More healing. Happy about that. No, you don't. The bicep generates the most health. I didn't want to catch that one first, but got a little bit of an overlap. This guy can't do much when he's just approaching you. These ogres are actually somewhat of a problem. They can, they're one of the only enemies that can cleanly interrupt dropkick. They can just punch you out of it, which makes it a very good anti-air. I need to do some crowd control here. There we go. A couple guys worshiping this cauldron. Not quite how I wanted that to go, but that's fine. This guy doesn't get to finish what he's saying, so we're just gonna hit him. Ooh, he broke that grab. That was really scary. Good thing I was mashing. You can drop kick this guy, but it's a little bit more vulnerable against him. I tend to just go for grab setups. Only downside of the grab is he can't break out of it. Do the tornado. And then drop kick for the pin. Try to see how many times I can hit the center of that circle. Okay, so we got a full health up there, which you didn't really need. Nice pose. After stages 2 and 4, we get these bonus stages. Really good for score runs, and if you need to actually refill your health. Like if I were actually much lower on health, this would be essential for getting me back to where I need to be. After stage 2, it's usually not that important. After stage 4 might be a different story. Thankfully, Max is really good at the bonus stage because his dropkick hits twice. Okay, so start of stage 3. This is probably my favorite music track in the game. Very medieval. Yeah, I can remember what that was going to bring. Take this elephant duder. Ogres with hammers don't have as easy of a time interrupting dropkick because the hammers just don't anti-air very well. But they are still a threat, especially at range. Like their hammer has a built-in backsway to it, so they can just like dodge your move and counterattack you, and it's really painful. Okay, moving on to some of these enemies. I'm actually gonna kill the first 2 and wait on this guy to show up. Because I want this statue for when this part occurs. Here we have Megatron. Gonna be sending the swarm after us. Then we can use the statue to just clear it all out at once. God, those drums just get me every time. Axes work just the same as hammers did. Can't anti-air, but really good range. That was actually really scary. I wasn't trying to dive kick through that laser, but we're fine. Oh, no, you don't. You can your power punch and get out of here. Okay. Gotta wait on that one. I really wanted that set up, but the laser said no. I'm gonna let it do that. I'm trying to be safe here. Primary goal is a 1cc, which means I'm not trying to take more than 2 deaths, and taking a death this early is pretty bad, and that still can't happen because of the boss. Wipe out these 2, take some health. Alright, so this boss, Megatron in monster form, is kind of awful. He can just randomly get iframes and be able to attack you, and you can't really bait it out. It's just one of those things that either happens or it doesn't. Some things I think can be interrupted guaranteed, like that taunt. See, like right there when I tried to grab him, he just said no and tried to give me the axe handle. So really, I'm just hoping for essentially just some good cooperation here, and that could be a lot to ask for. He also has a good amount of health for a stage 3 boss. Yeah, see, he just did it twice there, and traded me the 3rd time. That's not what I wanted. I dragged him up with me. Okay, that's bad. Yeah, now he's being awful. Yeah, now I'm actually scared, because now I'm back in human form, and that's never good. Need to do this. I can't remember the last time I saw him teleport, so that's weird. I think I got one more cycle, but I'm still really, really scared. Okay. So did it deathless, but man, that 6 through 8 portion of that fight was a big threat, so I was able to escape intact. Let's see how much health I can get back. Not quite all of it, but a pretty good amount. Totally fair. Yeah, that dude is a bit of a drama queen, isn't he? Alright, Dennis Frogman making his debut in this stage. Do a quick statue run. Yeah, this part's kind of weird because it's really hard to get control of enemies who just spawn out of the same point but in spaced intervals. These enemies here are gonna have these tree stumps. I'm actually gonna try and spawn them one at a time because you don't want to fight multiples of these. Really easy to take out if it's just one at a time. 1, 2. 1, 2. Pretty decent setup there, actually. I don't normally go for that. Just seemed right. Kind of want him to do this because I want this for the next segment. Nope. Your dropkick actually can deflect those projectiles that they throw, but it's generally better just not go for it. Okay, so actually kind of want to back up here. Got a mid boss coming up. It's the only mid boss in the game. Dive kick really, really good here. We can actually pin them against the wall as long as I don't escape between the frames. You can just do this to them until they're gone. Not quite how I wanted that to go, but okay. Still didn't get hit. Down we go with our cool swan dive animation. Change of music. Head up to the top. Dodge these boulders. This part can be kind of tricky. I think I'm always tempted to want to just do drop kicks, but these guys are a big threat, especially the ones that aren't armed. Okay, so I took one hit, but we're okay otherwise. Yeah, that's never good. That happens sometimes. Enemies in this game are not respectful at all. I think we'll be able to heal here before too long. Take care of these guys. I was hoping to get the 2 on the very top, but my spacing wasn't quite good enough. Hit this guy. Health? Not a chance. All right, so we're gonna let some Dennises spawn here. So these logs all contain items, and I believe the first 3 are all healing. Yeah, there we go. You just gotta make sure you hit them. They have active hitboxes because of course they do. They're rolling logs. But these guys all group. Just doing dive kicks so I can make sure I can anti-air them when I try to get in. Those guys can't attack you unless you're on like the same line of axis. They'll always try to jump in front of you, so it works out. Okay, didn't know there was one more. Go. D him down. See if I can spawn something here. That could be useful. If I can keep it, which I cannot, sadly. Okay, here we have our boss. Honestly, one of the harder bosses in the game, because you kind of have to play by his rules. So Shaquille Troll Neal here, as term coined by RGLtv member LRock617, is pretty awful. He has two heads, he moves really, really slowly, and he has some pretty absurd hitboxes. Didn't want to move that quickly back in. So the primary strat I'm going to be going for is doing a low-seated dropkick to try to bait him out. Essentially what I'm trying to do is to get him to do that elbow drop, so I can walk up and just hit him. And doing some grab breaks along the way. His grab is pretty degenerate. It has, I think, like full 180 range and like Zangief SPD range horizontally. Rather have this. And of course I'm going to be utilizing statues along the way. Sometimes he just gives you a free one. Not often, but we take advantage of that. As long as I can move out of the way in time, we're good there. If you couldn't break grabs, this fight would be much, much worse, but thankfully you can. Smash out and counterattack from behind. Yeah, I thought it might have been too close. That was a dick move. Okay. Wait till him to get up. Okay. Jeez, that dude. And like I said, just lots of little micro decisions and rules that have to go with that fight. You have to obey all of them. Not easy, not straightforward. He doesn't have garbage iframes like the previous boss does, but still gotta do what he wants you to do. Jump in the pool! Another quick bonus stage. Since I've got full health, I'm actually just gonna speed along to the end. The score you get is based on how many of these things you're destroying. Enemies included. And of course, if you need the health, that's what you want to do. You want to try and knock into as many things you can en route to the finish. But since I have full health, I'm just trying to do it fast. Mash accordingly. There we go. Yeah, for sure. Never had to see him again. Okay, so stage 5. In other versions of this game, particularly the US version, this is actually a boss rush.
Time for you to die.
A little bit of a main graphical glitch there. Thankfully, in the much more fair Japanese version of the game, we only had to fight one boss, who is this creature. She also doesn't get to finish what she's saying. Really? That much range? Okay, so there's a couple rules to follow with this fight. Essentially what we want to do is we want to manipulate her to backflip as much as we can. Once she front flips or back flips, we're good to just go up and hit her. She's completely vulnerable after that. Yeah, that was a mistake. Supposed to super joy there. I'm remembering my old strats, and my old strats aren't nearly as good as the new ones. This could be tricky. Really need to change back now. Got health to go with that too, lucky. Full health even. So the old strat involves her doing the high jump, and then I just super joy for safety, then hit her. So I'm just gonna go with that. It's a little bit slower, but it's more consistent when I'm playing max. Like so. She does still have one attack I'm scared of. If I'm sticking around too long while she's on the ground, she actually has a throw she can do as a wake-up option that does a lot of damage and has really good range, and you can't break out of it like you can with the troll boss. So I'm playing super safe here. Just not going for many grounded hits. She wanted to go for it there, but I was just barely got out of the way. Pretty good amount. The problem with being in human form is you lose options. You can't grab, just to name one. Your Super Joy doesn't last as long. And your hitboxes are worse. Not optimal. Okay, so a couple of quick things we'll get for score. Break it down on these guys. Let's save that for... Actually, I guess I can't. We got a new set of enemies here. This is actually our last stage. These Goro-looking dudes are kind of a mess. We'll see them a bit more later. I was actually able to take care of them in pretty quick fashion there. So last stage tends to throw everything at us. Thankfully, there's no like boss rush or anything. Just play to the finish. We do have a mid-boss though. Take care of these guys. Love this song too. Very triumphant. So this part's a little tricky. We've got these pillars that are gonna fall. Just let them spawn. When I get to the third one, I'm actually gonna go back to the left and take care of these guys. Let him do his thing. That's weird. I was really hoping for that to be able to spawn early, but that's okay. Okay, so for our mid-boss, get this Skeletor looking dude. Goal here is just to bait out Wake Up and then just go for a grab attempt. There's his Wake Up. As long as we can do this, we're gonna have a good fight. I'm also gonna be ignoring all of the helpers that show up and just let them drop as they will. They can actually disrupt the fight in ways that I don't want them to. And you also don't really need statues to have a good fight here. I'll take this one though. Yeah, that's an attack I want to watch out for. That's another reason why I probably shouldn't have gotten that statue. Because by the time I got back, the thing was still active. Thankfully, this is easy to time. Really? Yeah, I didn't expect that. He got up immediately and I didn't have time to move up. So that's a death. Not happy about that. But thankfully the 1cc is still alive. And I've no missed this game a number of times, so we're definitely in a good spot for that. But damn, what a way to die. That was very cruel. That's just arcades doing arcade stuff there. Okay, so lots of statues here. I should use one of them on these three guys that spawn. I want to fight these guys as little as I can. They're just not pleasant. They have really good capability of hitting you out of your best strats. And they have really good damage, so they can just contend with you. Okay, so we got one more section of those guys. Take care of this idiot. There we go. Do that. It's coming to the end of our time-honored Konami elevator. Get a few enemies that are gonna give us some greetings. Take care of them. All right, this part's actually kind of scary. These lasers are really efficient, really high damage, so I'm gonna do my best to avoid them. They do have friendly fire though. Better wait this out. If you take care of those enemies early, you can actually just go barreling through that like I did. If you don't, then you might get stuck there. Which, obviously not optimal. Okay, you broke a grab. Congrats. Congrats. Take care of these bozos. Move over here. Okay, I guess I don't get to use that. That's fine. Really? That didn't touch that guy. Okay. Fair enough. Still worked out. Don't touch me. I figure the best thing you do against these ogres is just grab them. Another statue. En route to our boss. Okay, so for the final boss, we've got 3 phases.
Great, you made it here. That's it for your life.
So I did learn a newer strat for this fight earlier this year that I'm actually not going to go for at this point because I already proved myself wrong with at least one boss strat that I couldn't do. So for the slower, more consistent strat for me, I'm going to essentially get this guy to walk around, try to attack me when he lines up with me, but essentially I'm just waiting for him to stop walking. Once he stops walking, he's completely open to attack. Like, he won't defend himself. And just rinse, repeat. A little slow, but it's consistent. Statues I'm not going to prioritize, or whatever these items are going to be. Yeah, see, like, he sometimes will just get in front of the boss like that, and I was just like, I could be being baited here. I didn't want that. All of his attacks are busted. His jump kick, his dragon punch, his fireball wave, like, there's just no reason to contend with any of it. Just let him hang himself. His theme's a slapper, though. It's metal as hell. Weird. Statue for knockdown if we can. Whoa. If I remember right, the other strat is to just hit him as he's incoming to your Z-axis, like so. Yeah, there we go. That can work. Didn't want that yet. Yeah, that's right. If he's coming to the Z-axis, you can hit him. So I guess we'll stick with that. There we go. There, he just stopped anyway. Good guy, final boss. Alright, so that's phase one.
Now you'll see my real strength.
So phase two is a little bit scarier. It's honestly not that terrible. I'm gonna leave that statue for a little bit. So here I'm gonna let him line up with me while he's on the ground so I can hit him. It's really easy to hit him on the Z-axis as long as you're above him, so the high ground is definitely where you want to be at pretty much any given time. That flame wave is a problem though, and I'm trying to avoid that at all costs. Okay, yeah, that's new. Been a minute since I've been hit with the fire out of the sky like that. That did a lot of damage. Okay, so when he goes airborne, what the normal strat is supposed to be is just keep hitting him out of the air. Drop kick hits twice. Okay, broke a grab, that's bad. Secondary goal is to try to keep one statue. Really should wait on that. It worked out, but I'm not saying it should have. Okay, so that's kind of unfortunate. We finished phase two, but I don't have a statue for phase three. If you have a statue here, you can just one-shot the phase three of the boss. But now I have to play a little bit safer. Not difficult, I just have to actually care and pay attention, as opposed to just pressing a button and winning the game. Okay, so I'm gonna let him do this. After that, he's open. Let him do it again. Whoa. Let him do it again. I'm not playing this unsafe at all. Oh no. A little more health than I'm used to. There we go. I knew I should have kept that last statue, but oh well. Game on. Take all this stuff for score. Nothing, no statues and health don't matter at this point, so it's just all score items. Reasonable enough for 1 CC. Unfortunate about the no miss, because the stage 6 mid boss had to be a creep, but finish is a finish, right? Thank you all so much for the GGs. Appreciate it. It's actually rare that I no miss this game, but I'm always happy with the 1 CC. When there are definitely some instances in this game where strats can very easily catch up with you, and if they don't work out the way you want them to, it can turn really bad really fast. So, just always hoping for the opposite. Anyway, this game's really cool. It's unfortunate that it was never ported to home consoles, but I want to say the reason for that probably has to do with the fact that I think this was supposed to be like a Saturday morning TV series, similar to what they wanted with Ninja Baseball Batman, so they planned to franchise it and do all this stuff, and then when that didn't happen, they just never thought to release it. Ninja Baseball Batman got similar treatment, and that one's also owned by like a comic book artist, so that's even more complicated. But yeah, this game's sweet. Recommend playing it if you ever stayed at an arcade, even though you'll be playing the US version, which is a lot more unfair. But it looks like up next, we've got the Ghoul School Co-Note, and we hope y'all stick around. See you soon.